I think before we get into our vision, we need to set the stage a little bit, or set the scene. For those of you in the room who don't know who we are or what we do, we are the Irish Development Education Association. We are the All-Ireland network for global citizenship education on the island of Ireland. We represent 108 members across the island. And those members are organisations, individuals, consortia, coalitions, university departments, trade unions, and even local development companies. Those members, and some of you are here today, they provide global citizenship education in formal, non-formal, and informal settings. That could be schools, community centres, youth clubs, where else? In cafes, in a taxi. On the way, my colleagues were bringing the boxes of documents and gave a mini masterclass in global citizenship education to the taxi driver, who was very enthused by it. And in fact, he helped bring in the boxes, so much enthused was he. They reach collectively, or have reached collectively, over 360,000 learners last year. And IDEA, as the kind of convener of the network, we provide capacity building for our members, also participate in policy dialogue and advocacy, and we drive quality and impact of global citizenship education across Ireland. Our members work, as I said, in formal, non-formal and informal educational settings. So this means they're working with early years educators, they're working in formal education, primary, post-primary, secondary. They're working in initial teacher education, in higher education, in adult and community education, and in youth. So a really broad range of educational settings. But what is global citizenship education? Well, it really helps us to understand the world we're living in and our place in it. It equips people of all ages and backgrounds with the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to navigate today's complex and challenging world. And it's a lifelong educational process. It helps people critically reflect on their world and their place in it. It opens their eyes, hearts, and minds to today's reality, both locally and globally. We are facing unprecedented, interconnected crises on the global stage, but also with local impacts. Climate breakdown, war, inequality, impunity, democracy is in decline as well. Disinformation is rampant, polarization is on the rise, far-right politics, and there's a weakening of social cohesion through this. Not only are we facing these intensifying global risks, but we're also running out of time to meet our targets of the Sustainable Development Goals. We do need to protect the foundations of global citizenship education. There are strong foundations there. There's good support networks and structures in place, but they really need to be protected at this very turbulent time. And we need to also be able to provide global citizenship education equitably across all settings. In a nutshell, our vision is for everybody to have access to quality global citizenship education on this island. But what would that look like if that were in place? Well, there would be transformed learners. Learners would have the skills, the confidence, the knowledge needed to navigate today's world. Also, educators would be equipped and supported. They would have all of the materials at their disposal, but also support, supervision. They would reflect on their own practice. They would have opportunities for continuous professional development, etc. We would also see global citizenship education embedded in formal education curricula and settings, both north and south of the border. And we would also see global citizenship education embedded in adult and community education, north and south of the border, so equitably across the island. Young people and those who work with young people would be co-creating the global citizenship agenda. And there would be far more research happening between universities and practitioners, which would inform more evidence-based approaches. To deliver this vision, we need a vibrant, multi-stakeholder, all-island GCE alliance that is based on principles of mutual support, trust, and shared resources. And what is needed to make our vision a reality? Many things. We can't do it alone. We all need to work together. We have set out 12 strategic priorities in the realm of policy, investment and programming to try to reach our vision by 2030. First of all, we need increased investment. Currently, the Irish government supports global citizenship education to the tune of 9.8 million a year. That is very valued and it is put to good use. I'm delighted to see our colleagues here from Irish Aid, from the Global Programmes and Global Citizenship Education Unit, which oversee that investment and the policy that is connected to it. But it does not go far enough, unfortunately. We need to be ramping up investment in global citizenship education if we're going to respond to the challenges of today. We need to scale up, extend our reach, deepen our engagement, and really embed global citizenship further across all educational settings. And to do that, we need more investment and support. We also need a whole of government approach. This means cross-developmental coordination among relevant departments. So currently, Irish Aid really carries the lion's share of the work. It's the Department of Foreign Affairs that promotes this policy and funds it. However, global citizenship education is also very relevant to the Department of Education and Youth. It's very relevant to the Department of Further and Higher Education, Research, Innovation and Science. It's very relevant to the Department of Children and Disability and Equality. It's very relevant to the Department of Climate, Energy and Environment. And it will become more important at a whole of government level as we are seeing how it can fit in response to the scourge of disinformation. So we have a national disinformation strategy now, and GCE is a tool that can be used to help implement that. So not only a whole of government approach, but also stronger coherence between key existing policies. I mentioned the Irish Aid Global Citizenship Education Strategy, but we also have the Education for Sustainable Development Strategy. We also have the Climate Action Plan. We also have the National Disinformation Strategy. We have the National Action Plan Against Racism. All of these policies are interlinked and they need to work together. And actually, global citizenship education contributes to all of them. We also need more support and investment in impact, measurement, and quality, driving quality, and research. It was already mentioned, research is part of our vision, but to get there, we need to agree on a research agenda between stakeholders. We're in a symbiotic relationship. The researchers, the practitioners, the policymakers, the donors, we all want the same thing. We have to work together and come up with a collective research agenda, and we need a lot more funding for it. We already mentioned that our vision is an all-island vision. We are an all-island network. We represent members across this island. And we would like to see the ambition for global citizenship education reach every corner of this island. And we need to have a coordinated approach to that. And within that, we need greater support for global citizenship education in Northern Ireland. The reality in Northern Ireland is very different to the reality in the Republic. In the Republic, we have a strategy, we have a policy, we have funding. There's a lot of support structures in place. There's a lot of networks in place. And our colleagues in Northern Ireland, our members in Northern Ireland, they were hit with funding cut after funding cut in the last few years. They haven't received state funding since 2021. They haven't been able to access EU funding since Brexit. Yeah, the Irish Aid strategy does have an all-island dimension, but they're lagging behind our colleagues in Northern Ireland, not because of lack of expertise or capacity, but lack of policy and funding. Another priority is to create a whole of society ecosystem. We have already laid the groundwork for this, but we need to go deeper and we need to go further. So extending reach, deepening engagement and embedding further. Also, we need to build on the progress achieved in curriculum development and integration. There has been a lot of progress made in the last few years on interweaving global citizenship education into the curriculum in the Republic. There's also been a curriculum review in Northern Ireland recently, but we need to take it one step further. We have to cross that frontier of assessment, which we haven't really engaged with, but we will be in the next few years. Communications. Global citizenship education is not something that is easy to communicate sometimes, and we need to be better at it. A lot of people in this room are practitioners, so they know what they're about, but talking to a layperson is sometimes difficult. So we need to have a communication strategy to be able to reach new audiences and make what we're doing more understandable, more relatable to them. We're living in a digital present, and it's just going to get more digitalized as we go. So we need to harness the potential, the positive potential of technology for global citizenship education, and also to promote ethical engagement with digital technologies. And finally, and most importantly, we need to work in partnership. We cannot do this alone. IDEA and its members, we are mostly civil society organizations. However, we need to work with other stakeholders. We need to work with policymakers, donors, we need to work with academics, researchers, etc. And we all need to work together. So they are our 12 strategic priorities. Obviously, in the document, there's a lot more detail. I don't have time to go into it, but I will just leave you with some final thoughts. This is not just about education. This is about safeguarding Ireland's democracy, and it's about shaping a society that helps people respond confidently to local and global challenges. It also helps us fulfill our international obligations. For example, with Agenda 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, in particular Target 4.7, and it helps us contribute to peace and justice worldwide. By investing in global citizenship education, we are going to see a real difference in the hearts and minds of people. This is what is needed, and it is needed now. Thank you.